Coach Ty, and I'm here to break down the Friday workout. The main movement of focus today is going to be the thruster. We do have higher volume for some of our other movements. However, the main intent of the thruster will be to pick a significantly heavier load. If it's going to be RX, that will be 70% of your body weight. And when you think about the dynamic nature of the thruster, where we go from a full depth squat into a full overhead press, that weight will present a pretty significant challenge. So make sure you take your time and achieve good technical soundness, hit those standards, keep yourself honest, and just keep moving well as we move the heavy weights. The other movements are going to be pulling with a little bit of core as well. So that's going to be a nice balanced attack to get you feeling good as you head into this weekend. So let's talk about some of our key points, standards, and other notes that are going to help you best execute these movements and also just the workout as a whole. So kicking things off with a 1,000-meter row, we did do a couple of these last week in a workout that was very grip intensive and core intensive. It was all the toes to bar with the rowing and then the toes to ring with the running. So we did those last week. That might be, or the pace that you did that 1,000-meter row last week might be a good guide for the pace you select this week. So it's not a sprint, it's not a slow march either, it's somewhere in between. I'm gonna say like a 7 out of 10 intensity that you can maintain for the entire time that you're on that row machine. Second movement is going to be the thruster. Like I said, pretty significant load. If you are doing 10, 11, 12 reps in one set, that might be a little bit too light. If you're still working on the skill, obviously, that's a unique scenario. But for those of you who have been coming consistently over the last few weeks, months, and years, we do want to pick a significantly challenging weight that I'm gonna say should be in like for most people, like 5, 6, 7 rep range, where it is quite a challenge. So by that I mean you really have to be engaged through your core. You really have to be gripping the ground with your feet, maybe even resetting for a second at the top and then bracing that core again. Before you bring that weight back down into the full depth squat. So I mention the brace because that's probably the most important thing on the thruster, because there is so much movement going on. It is so dynamic, and with the heavier weight and a little bit of fatigue, that's usually what we see. We see people either dumping forward, shifting towards their toes, some people's hips tuck underneath. So we see quite a few of those presentations in the thruster, which basically would suggest we might be lacking a little midline stability, we might not be balanced through the midfoot. So try to keep it tight, try to grip the floor with your feet, and make sure we're resetting and bracing with each rep. Next movement we'll be performing is the chest to bar pull-up. That is a higher level gymnastics skill. It involves strength, coordination, body awareness, and just a lot of familiarity and a lot of experience with the hip swing, because that's going to be a big help. Once your muscles start to fatigue, you're going to need to lean into that kip, really rely on it in order to help get you up to that bar. So when we're doing our kip swing, what we're basically doing is in the arched phase, we have a ton of potential energy. We're in a nice big stretch. Our muscles are kind of preloaded, ready to drive us up to that bar, transition into a nice powerful pull, and then hopefully get that chest all the way to the bar below the collarbone. From there, we're going to get, what I like to do is a nice push away from the bar, which kind of helps me seamlessly transition into the arch phase. Now, you're going to have quite a bit of speed when you do that push, so let's make sure that we still have it under control and we're still engaged through our midline. We don't get into like these donkey kicks where our ribs flare out, but rather it is a controlled movement. You're going through a stretch, but it's still under control. The other movement is toes to ring. We've been doing a ton of those over the last few cycles. You guys' skills on that have gotten so much better, and it's basically going to be the same concept as the chest to bar pull-ups, except obviously we're going through a full crunch to finish that movement instead of pulling up to the bar. So the same kip swing principles apply on the toes to ring. Have some fun with those. And then the last movement, well, the last movement is running, but the other movement is just normal chin to bar pull-ups. Again, same principles are going to apply as the chest to bar pull-ups, and it'll probably be nice that you get to do those after the chest to bar pull-ups because you're probably going to be feeling light. That kip swing's just going to be on point, and we're going to see some good standards. That chin over the bar, that full extension at the bottom, it's going to be good stuff. And then we're finishing things off with a little run, and then you're heading into the weekend. So that's all I got, guys. I'm Coach Ty. I'm signing off. Peace out.